Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's having a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday morning, guys, where I am. Of course, it has been non-stop news in regards to Man United. Some may say nothing new there, nothing new. Man United are in the news every single day of the week. We are in the news, and there's a different story every single day too, isn't there, really? Now, the talk of the town these days is Bruno Fernandes. What's going on with Bruno Fernandes? Is he going to go to Saudi Arabia? Is he going to be enticed by 500,000 a week? I mean, you know what? Not bad if you can get it. 500,000 a week. What would you do for a 31-year-old? Would you take the money and run? But my overriding concern is this player going to be replaced? And if so, who by? Because if we get rid of the likes of Bruno Fernandes and we replace him with Tyler Dibbling or something like that, you know what? We are on the road to nowhere, isn't it? Isn't it, guys? So, you know what? What I would say is that I want to know the plan. I want to know the plan. Man United have lost many players over the years, but these players have been replaced. You know, and Man United always had a nucleus of winners in their squad. When we look at our squad now, we're down to the bare bones. We haven't got many players there who you could say that, you know what, are going to change the game. At the moment, we only have Bruno, and we have to be realistic. But at the same time, if an astronomical amount of money was offered for Bruno, would you cash in on Bruno? There was rumors yesterday that Manchester United have put a 60 million release clause on Bruno. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not too sure. But if Manchester United did put a release clause on Bruno for 60 million only, it would be an absolutely disgrace, isn't it? It'd be an absolute travesty, a disgrace. I mean, he's been our best signing post Sir Alex Ferguson, without doubt. He's been our best signing post Sir Alex Ferguson. But you know what I want? Whether Bruno does leave Manchester United or not, I want to concentrate on the rest of the season. We have a massive few weeks to go in this campaign. You know, this month is the last month. Basically, we have the do or die this month. It's do or die this month for Manchester United, and Manchester United need to make a difference this month and win that Europa League. This is my primarily focused ambition, which is the Europa League. I want the Europa League. I don't like these distractions in regards to Bruno Fernandes and stuff. I don't like that. And you know what? I always feel like there's no smoke without fire. I always feel like, you know, with Ineos, it always feels like they're trying to plant something in there, in the media. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm paranoid, but it just seems like they're just trying to plant something in the media. I don't know. But you know what? It does seem that way. Let's get through some of your comments, guys. Big up, everyone. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sanj. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're good. Hope everything is fine with you and fine and dandy. Thank you for joining me as usual, my friend. Thank you very much. Very, very much. Yeah, so you know what? I'm going to put aside this Bruno thing. There is a poll on my YouTube in regards to Bruno. There is a poll if you want to get involved in the poll and let me know what you think, because you know what? It does divide opinion. It really does divide opinion. And you know what? I've never seen a player divide opinion as much as Bruno. You know, and yeah, it is something that, you know, will be interested in the summer. Will Man United accept an offer? I mean, how much is Bruno worth? You know, I mean, at the moment, considering where we are, the players that we have in our squad, we don't really have many players in our squad of the quality of Bruno. We're talking about over 100 million here. And if they do offer 100 million, we've got a big decision to make, haven't we? Good morning, Shah. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Sal, do you think Bruno would want to go Saudi if we win the Europa League? I mean, I personally would love to see Bruno win the league with Man United. I would love to see him play one more season with Manchester United. But apparently, I think it's next season that there is a 60 million release clause that could be triggered. And we stand to lose a lot of money. Now, it is a really difficult situation for Man United that, you know what, do we sell him now and cash in? I mean, look, you know what? I will be realistic with you guys. I will be honest with you guys. If Man United had a squad of winners, had a team of winning with a winning mentality, let's say we had 8 or 9 more Brunos in our team, and then I would say, yeah, just cash in on him now, and we'll see what happens. But we don't, do we, guys? We don't have a team of winners there. We don't have a team who could take the game by the scruff of the neck. We've only got Bruno. There is only Bruno who's stood up, in regards to goals and assists this season. And, we have to understand that. He's a very important player for us. And, look, we could still sell him. Of course we can. But it's whether we replace him with the sufficient player, like of the same level or of a better level. But where do you find that player? Who is that player? Who's going to come to the Premier League and do what Bruno has done? Good morning, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Are we doing well? Good morning. Good. Yes, there was back box office indeed. Absolutely. Good morning, Forza Inter. There you go. Absolutely. As a wise one said, I love this game. Look, I told you guys before that Inter were going to win against the Barcelona. I'm not surprised. Spanish teams have a bit of difficulty playing Italian teams. It's throughout history. Even the Spanish national side doesn't like playing Italy, and it is a little bit like a weird thing going on there. But I always had the feeling that Inter Milan would get through. I know that now Barcelona is starting to make all these excuses of crying and sobbing about some fouls that were committed. I don't understand it. It doesn't look like a foul to me. Barcelona lost fair and square. And when I go back through the past, you know what? Karma's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Karma's a beautiful thing. Barcelona went through to the Champions League final against Man United through cheating. You remember? When Chelsea should have won that game, Chelsea had a number of decisions that went against them, unbelievable decisions that didn't go their way. And you know what? At the end of the day, look, karma is a beautiful thing. Barcelona have practiced dark arts for many, many years. And the good thing about Italian teams is that Italian teams, they somehow know how to deal with that. They somehow know how to deal with the Barcelonas of this world. And, don't be surprised if Inter win it. I honestly think that they have a good chance. Hopefully against PSG. I don't want to see no happy Arsenal fans, guys. I don't want to see one happy Arsenal fan. That's the last thing I want is happy Arsenal fans. Absolutely not. No chance at all. Nah. Absolutely. I don't trust the owners to reinvest into the team 120 million. This is the problem, Sean. This is the problem that I've been discussing for 24 hours now. That, it's all well and good accepting a lot of money for Bruno. Great, fantastic. But will that money be reinvested in the squad? This is the overriding concern for every one of us. Will it be reinvested in the squad? If it is reinvested in the squad, will they know which player to get? Will they know which player is going to make a difference and change the quality of our team? Of course, guys. Because at the end of the day, whether we like him or not, he does defy opinion, old Bruno Fernandes. But you know what? It does depend on whether, they get the sufficient quality in. And I'm not saying they're not, but, at the end of the day, do you trust Ineos to do that? Do you trust Ineos to bring in, a player of Bruno's level, of his quality? Do you trust them to do that? I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't know. We'll have to wait and see. 7-6 scoreline seem familiar. Absolutely. What a game, though. What a game. I love Bruno, but 150 million and he gets 200 million over 3 years. If he wants to go, then it's time to sell. We can replace him with 150 million. We can add players. We can, we won't, we will. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Charlie. Do you trust Ineos? Do you trust the Glazers? I don't, to be honest with you. I don't trust them to reinvest in the team sufficiently. I think that we'll probably buy one player with that and then put the rest of the money in the pocket. Look, we got to be very careful what we want. We got to be careful what we wish for. You know the old saying. Now, if that money was going to be reinvested in the team, which we don't know is, then that would be fantastic. We also have to look at FFP and PSR and how much of that money can go towards it, and how are the fan base going to be manipulated by it as well. So we have to wait and see. Italian teams, absolutely unmatched. They make the most of what they got. When they play with passion. They don't give up. That is one thing about them, which is fantastic. There is no one in this squad that I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't sell prime Ronaldo or Messi, but 30-year-old Bruno would be a decision. It is a decision, but we're forgetting the overriding elephant in the room here. We're forgetting Ineos. We're forgetting the Glazers. Will the Glazers and Ineos reinvest that money into the team? Again, we're not looking at this. We're not looking at this in an intelligent light. right? We can say that, you know what? Yes, let's sell Bruno. Fantastic. Take the money. But imagine this, right? Imagine we sell Bruno and we get Tyler Dibbling. What are we going to say? Imagine we sell Bruno and we get Liam Delap and Tyler Dibbling. And then, you know what I mean? We're saying, oh, for goodness sake. I mean, I'm not saying that it is. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but that could quite possibly happen. Do you know what I mean? We are owned by ownership that we don't really know fully, isn't it, in regards to Ineos? We pray for PSG, go through. Absolutely, absolutely. Ramatana, I mean, come back. I mean, I don't think. I mean, is it a comeback? I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, look, you know, I don't want Arsenal to go through. Sorry, I don't. Some people say, oh, you should support the English clubs in Europe. No, not Arsenal. I don't. I really don't like Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal fans would do the same with us. Look at them. Let me give you an example. Look at Arsenal fans this last couple of weeks in regards to last week, shall I say, in regards to Man United possibly qualifying for the Champions League via the Europa League. Look at the reaction of majority Arsenal fans. Look at the way they've gone on in regards to Man United qualify for the Champions League. Look at the bitterness. Look at the anger. Why is it their concern? If Man United win the Europa League, they would have won 2 trophies to qualify for this Champions League. They would have won the UEFA Cup, the FA Cup to qualify for the Europa League, and the Europa League to qualify for the Champions League. Is that not sufficient to qualify for the Champions League? I mean, I think that's much better than coming 5th place, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Winning 2 trophies. Would you like to see Arsenal in the final? No, I would not. I would not love it, Lisa. I would absolutely despise it. I would hate it with a passion. I would disown football for a while. Goodness me. No way. We want an experienced player like Bruno. Big up Ephraim. I do trust Wilcox and Fivell to find the players needed. Charlie, then you're naive. That's a fact, you know. Why? What gives you the evidence to find the players that's needed? What evidence do you have? You know, because at the moment I'm seeing Liam Delap and Tyler Dibbling. That's what I'm aiming about. Plus, clubs will charge us more for players, knowing that. Absolutely. There you go. Great point from Shah. Plus, every single team in England will know we got 120 million. Last transfer window. Now, let me tell you something about the last transfer window, Charlie. De Ligt is a well-known player. Mazraoui is a well-known player. Ugarte is a well-known player. We know these players already. They didn't scout these players, and they spent a fortune on them. Absolutely. There was nothing special about that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. You're like one of those people who like jump at the Glazers. Yeah, okay. I'm so excited. Ooh, you know. And no offense, but you know what I mean? Are they going to do it? You've got to be careful what you wish for in life. You've got to be a little bit more pessimistic. A little bit more, okay, lean back, as Fat Joe used to say. Lean back and say, let's watch it and let's wait and see. Let's not jump to conclusions because experience has shown us. But have you researched FFP and PSR? Do you know how much money we're going to get from 120 million? Plus class, yeah, I read that one. Big up. You do know that the same can be said about the price money for winning the Europa League. Yeah, absolutely. Ineos are on fraud watch this summer, right? And Ineos are going to be watched by me and many other people in the transfer window. Now, look, selling Bruno and replacing Bruno is all well and done. It's all said and done. It's all brilliant, isn't it? You know, who are we going to get? Knowing that every single team is going to say, oh, they've got the money for Bruno. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to do. Right. I'm not saying don't sell Bruno. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't get overly giddy. You know what I mean? Because that is what makes us... This is what separates... Let me tell you something. This is what separates Internazionale, Inter Milan, right, with Manchester United. Inter Milan, Manchester United. Inter Milan wouldn't give a F about what happens. They don't give a damn. You know what I mean? They you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we get happy with a click of a finger. We're getting happy with a click of a finger. They won't. They'll empty the stadium. No bullshit. They'll empty the stadium. That's what they do. That's why they get to Champions League finals. 2 Champions League finals within years. You know, and this is why. This is the difference with us. We get too happy. Oh, I trust Fivell. I trust Wilcox. I mean, every man and my grandma would know who Matthias de Ligt is. Every man and my grandma knows who Ugarte is. Every man and my grandma know who Mazraoui is. I knew who Dorgu was. So at the end of the day, you know, we'll have to wait and see. And I pray that it goes to the point, of course. We do not get that kind of players like Bruno. It's rare. I agree. It's not as it's when we win the Europa. Love it, Kenny. Love it. Absolutely, my friend. We will win the Europa League. You know what? We got a very good chance. Tottenham are missing. I think they're going to be missing Son, Solanke, Maddison. They're all going to be missing for Man United, for Tottenham, if Tottenham go through. Now, I found it a little bit disrespectful that the FA have moved Tottenham's game back, I think, so that Tottenham would get more time to prepare for the final. I mean, if I was a Bodo Glimt player or manager, I would look at that and I think, you've just done my team talk for me. Because at the end of the day, that's a bit disrespectful, don't you think? Like moving the game against Tottenham so they can prepare for the final. That game is not over, by the way. Our game is not over. We know that. But that game is not over. Do you know what I mean? So if we did win the Europa, can they change their mind and sell Bruno? Look, if we win the Europa, this is what I want, guys. Let's say, for argument's sake, we sell Bruno. I want to see a young Mastantuono. I want to see Cherky in coming in. I want to see Trincao coming in. I want to see Osimhen. I want to see Gutierrez. I want to see all these players coming in. That's what I want, because we got money then, haven't we? So we might as well bring. That's what I want to see. That's the standards I want, because at the end of the day, we're going to have money. You know. I hate the Glazers much. If more, I wouldn't say that, Charlie. I created a 58th minute walkout in regards to the Glazers. What have you done? I also know that not touch a penny until the last 2 years. They do not worry me until they get their hands on the big bags again. They're going to get their hands on the big bags, mate. They're already taken $1 billion at the club when Ineos have taken over. In regards to the Glazers, I've been a Glazer out since 2005 with my green and gold scarf, my friend. And I created a big movement. So I don't think you can jump to that conclusion. So I don't trust the Glazers. I don't trust Ineos until it happens. Let it happen. Don't say I trust them, because that is not how life works. You know, in business, in life in general. Why do you trust them? What? Because of a summer window? It was okay. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like with players that were already on Man United's radar before they came in. You know what I mean? I don't know. Well, let's wait and see. That's all I'm saying. Good morning, Mac. How you doing? I'm undecided about Senebro. He is not young anymore. And maybe if a huge offer is on the table, but he is our best player and it would be hard to bring in someone of his quality. Tyborg, exactly what I'm saying. But my biggest concern, Tyborg, is like if that money's going to be reinvested. A lot of people are saying that money's going to be reinvested and they're 100% sure. I have contacts. I have people around the club that tell me that, you know what, if Man United sell Bruno, the full money won't go on towards transfers. It will go towards debt. I don't want to see the money used to buy players, older players, to try to win. I want money used to buy the kind of players PSG buys. Thank you, Bruno, for his contributions and wish him the best of luck. There you go. We'll have to wait and see. Amac, we need more experience to nurture our young players. We already have, I agree with Shah, because we already have a very young team. We already have good young players coming through the ranks. We already have that. And I agree. We need a Osimhen. We need a Gutierrez. You're not going to win anything with playing Mastantuono, Liam Delap, and Tyler Dibling. You're not going to win anything like that. You do need a mixture of experience. Look at the class of 92. Look what team they came into, you know, for example. Shah, I wonder what Amram would say on the Bruno Saudi rumors. He won't be happy. Definitely not. I hope Bruno is the press conference as well today as he speaks out of it. Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, this is not a pro Bruno channel. Like, you know, I'm not just saying that don't sell Bruno. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm trying to give you an argument of what, you know, what happened if we do sell Bruno. People jumping on the bandwagon and trusting Ineos and trusting Vivell and trusting Wilcox and trusting Berrada. Nah. Bruno will not go to Saudi. That's Ephraim. Big up, Ephraim. Bruno talk does not really mean much until the Bruno himself comes out and say he wants to do. He won't though, will he? He won't. What I would say, Charlie, in regards to that, what I will say is, if you were offered 500,000 a week, 600,000 a week, would you cash in? Would you cash in? Would you cash in? Who knows? We only can speculate at the moment, but this obviously rumor does have legs. Now, speaking of young players and players that could, be showing interest in Manchester United this summer, and names that you might be have heard of, you might hear about this summer. Another player called Ognjen Ugresic. Ognjen Ugresic. 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 Ognjen Ugresic is a Partizan Belgrade player who currently plays in central midfield. Now, a highly rated 18-year-old in Serbia, 6 caps for Serbia under 19s, 1 goal. He is valued at around 150,000 euros, guys. So a very cheap player. But in regards to this player, he can also play central midfield, attacking midfield, and centre forward. Quite an attractive proposition. A very highly prospect, a very high prospect, and another prospect player that Man United are looking for. Now, as I've said many, many times, that Man United, I don't mind them looking at these players, guys. I really don't mind them looking at these players. I mean, I like it. But we also have to look at experience as well. Man United, the probability of Man United signing this player is 80%. 80%. Man United could sign this player. So look out for Ognjen Ugresic. Ognjen Ugresic. And if he signs for Man United, you're going to say, I heard that on Stretford Post. Ognjen Ugresic. Now, a player that I mentioned before on Stretford Post is an Italian international, really. He's been in the Italian squad. He hasn't had a cap yet, but he's been in the Italian squad. Is 20-year-old Pietro Camuzzo. Pietro Camuzzo plays for Fiorentina currently as a centre-back. And I mentioned him a few weeks ago. The reason I mention him now is that Pietro Camuzzo has been offered a new contract by Fiorentina. But the interest from Manchester United has turned the head of Pietro Camuzzo. And there is still ongoing talks about his future. Pietro Camuzzo is ranked very highly as a future prospect for in Italian football. And obviously has done very, very well for Fiorentina this season. Now, look, you know what? I look at this and I think 25 million valuation. Camuzzo in the Italian squad. We're going to lose Evans. We're going to lose Lindelof. Would you do a deal like that? And centre-back, right-footed, replace Lindelof. Would you do that? You know what I mean? So that, again, a reason I bring this back in because a lot of news is going around Pietro Camuzzo. So Pietro Camuzzo, Comuzzo. Obviously, I mentioned in the show a few weeks ago, but now it's come to the surface again that Man United are looking at him. So we're going to keep an eye out for that one, guys. Absolutely. People being sure that the money will be reinvested is just a naive. I mean, maybe it will be, but maybe sure about it is shocking to me considering what owners are among doings lately. This is the problem in the Man United fan base, I'll be honest, and this is no disrespect to anyone. I was around at a time, and you were, Tyborg, as well, when Man United fans used to have something about them, this grit, right? And we seem to have lost that, and we seem to be very trustworthy to people, even though evidence suggests that we shouldn't be so trustworthy. And this is why I bring this in. We shouldn't just act giddy. We shouldn't just say, yeah, sell Bruno before we have any links to new players. That's what I'm saying. You could say, yeah, I don't mind us selling Bruno. This is what smart people do. I don't mind us selling Bruno. We get 100+ million, great. But where's that money going to be reinvested? Can I know? Can I understand? Can you tell me where that money is going to be reinvested? Are we going to get a player of the quality of Bruno, or are we going to buy a bunch of players that are not ready yet? You know what I mean? Everything is hypothetical at the moment. So we have to have a hypothetical scenario in every single angle going around. That is how we do things. You know what I mean? You have a hypothetical scenario from every single angle. It's easy to say sell him. You know what I mean? But if we go and get Tyler Dibbling, it's not going to be. I want a complete overhaul squad. Me too, Mac. Sell Bruno, Rashford, Onana, Anthony, Sancho, Dalot. People say that won't open heart surgery. Well, this is it. Some people forget what open heart surgery actually meant. Open heart surgery actually meant the football club as a whole, not just players. Players is one thing, but a football club as a whole. I would do the same, Mac, if I had the choice. Only if the money's going to be, again, if the money's going to be reinvested in the team, right? Look at what, for example, the evidence here. Look what happened on January. Man United got rid of Anthony, Rashford, Malacia, and only brought in Dorgu. So there's your evidence right there. So what makes you think that we won't get rid of 10 players and bring in 5? You know what I mean? If we're lucky. I agree with the overhaul, though. I agree with it. I agree these players need to go. Absolutely. Rashford needs to go. Anthony needs to go. Onana needs to go. Casemiro may need to go because of his wages, but I might keep him for one more season. I don't know about you. Mason Mount needs to go, right? Luke Shaw needs to go, right? Lindelof's going. Eriksen's going already, right? So that's another thing. Evans is going. That's 9 players right there, guys. 9 players off the cuff, right? 9 players. And some may say Rasmus Højlund needs to go. That's 10 players off the cuff. Right? You can name 10 players, but are we going to do that? I mean, you know how slow Man United work. You know how slow they are. You know yourself how slow Man United work. You know what we're like in the transfer market, don't you? We're not that team who like to work quickly. You know what I mean? I wonder what those Ineos fan accounts would say now, because it is Bruno and a lot of people like him. Absolutely. Especially one of the big aggregators account that has sources. I'm still waiting for an apology from them. You know what? If we don't succeed this transfer window and we don't finish this transfer window and we're like, yes, we've done it. That was a good transfer window, to be fair. I want to see those apologies have come flooding in, because I know there was a lot of abuse and slander and lies about Qatar. So I want to see some apologies flooding in, to be honest with you, if I'm being real, guys. So big up Shah, by the way. Triple M, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. What game yesterday? Great game. People claim that they used the money to pay off the debt, but the Glazers have never shown any interest in paying off the debt. I think that's scaremongering. Mac, you know one thing about Ineos? They like to pay off debt. To fix FFP and PSR, they're going to be... they might pay off debt. It's not scaremongering at the end of the day. You want Man United to get in more and more debt, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. You know? Nah, man. Mac, man, you come out with some shit. Oh, God. Morning, mate. Big up. What's going on? Big up, everyone, of course. Big up. How much does he cost? Who's that? Who are you talking about? Sorry, mate. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about, brother? Only the first half. I watched the highlights, to be fair. I won't be surprised if the Glazers pocketed £120. Absolutely, Kenny. Kenny, look, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but don't be surprised if it does. The Glazers are going to be like, well, hey, 120 million. What are we going to do with that? Absolutely. Come on, guys. Come on. Man, they're not going to pay for a flight for you guys to Old Trafford. They're not going to buy you a nice little teddy bear or a little toy or put money in your bank account. Guys, be wise. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're not going to. Inter had aging players, therefore Barcelona had young and old players. There you go. It's not all about youth as well. They had Darmian, didn't they? If we reach to the final, we have to be careful about a game against Chelsea about our players. Yeah, we have to rest a lot of players. We're no stranger to that, to be honest with you. Would Ineos actually pay the debt of Sal? I don't trust them. I don't think they're going to do anything. What I do know, and what I know in regards to business, right? Let me tell you this scenario, right? They will, whatever we've heard from Ineos this last few months, it's always been negative. It's always been about money coming out of the club, money being taken from the club. You know, we got to pay this. We got this debt. We got FFP. We got PSR. It's always been that, hasn't it? There's never been, oh, we can make money from the league position. We can make money from Sancho. We can make money from Rashford Sal. We can make money. It's never that, is it? So what makes you think that they're not going to make up a load of bull crap in the summer saying, oh, you know what? You know, especially if we don't qualify for the Champions League, which is a must, by the way. Imagine they sit there and they start going, you know what? PSR, FFP, you know, it's really difficult. We can't spend the money. We have to pull it towards the debt to coincide with the FFP and PSR regulations. Billionaires are liars, man. And I don't trust billionaires. And I've been around billionaires. They're liars, man. Don't trust them. Kamutso is about 25 million, Yale, my friend. Inter had the better manager. Do you think he's better than Hansi Flick, Yale? Good point. It could be. Spurs and United both play in the 16th, so both teams get the same rest period. But Yale, the point we're making is, if you were Bodo Glimt, right? Spurs are assuming they're going through here. So they're saying that we want to move the game so that Spurs get more time to prepare for the final. Now, whatever you think, what will Bodo Glimt think? What would a manager of Bodo Glimt think? What would the players think? For me, that's my team talk. For me, that's what I want to hear. That's my team talk. You know, if I'm being honest. Joe Glazer and Sijin running around the house together with their top off with that money. My goodness me, they'll be celebrating. And then they'll say, right, what excuse are we going to give now? Joe, what excuse are we going to give? What should we say? What costs to come up? Tell me, come on. Tell me, Joe, come on, come at me. What excuse are we going to give? What money we have to pay? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't trust them. Happy for Inter, by the way. I really don't like Spanish football. I mean, you know what, Tybor? What makes me really, really chuckle a little bit is the fact that Barcelona were moaning about fouls and what should have been a foul. And then they replayed this tackle. I don't know what Inter player was. They replayed this tackle and it was an absolute ridiculous thing because the foul actually should... I mean, I was looking at that and I'm like, Barca, you are desperate. And it is really rich and ironic coming from Barcelona. And hypocritical, because they are the masters of the dark arts, right? They're the masters of the dark arts, and they've done this against us in Champions League final a couple of times. They do that diving, get touch, dive, and that's what they do, you know. And just because it goes against them, they moan, and they cry about it. And you never. One thing I've noticed is that you never beat Barcelona silently. Whenever someone beats Barcelona, it's always a big uproar. There's always controversy. There's always screaming and shouting and arguing and fighting, isn't there? That's one thing I've noticed. Big up, Tyborg. Inter with a free in the Champions League final. I thought the formation was the problem. The formation is not the problem. Shah, the personnel is the problem at Man United. Formation is not the problem. Inter Milan have a perfect team for that formation. I mean, they've got the likes of Dumfries and, in their squad who work perfectly in that situation. Although I would say that they play a 5 at the back, not a 3. And they don't play wingers, but they've got perfect wing backs and they got a perfect team to fit the system of Inzaghi. You know, so at the end of the day, and until Ruben Amorim has his team, as the players that fit his system, we can't judge Ruben Amorim. Absolutely not. Flick is one of the best managers around, in my opinion. Look what he has done at Barcelona, has in heavy downfall. But yeah, football, Tyborg. Football, I would say that I wouldn't say that Zagi's better than Flick or Flick is better than Zagi. What I would say this, right? What I would say, Tyborg, is that football's funny. Sometimes you lose, you know, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But what do I like about Hansi Flick? I like the style of football. I like the attacking style. I like the emphasis on youth and experience. I like that about him. And I think he has transformed Barcelona back similar to where they were. And I like that. And he's given more of a team ethic put back into that squad and instead of being a one-man team and stuff like that, you know. So, I mean, you don't win every year. And, you know, he's won the league. You can't win. I mean, he might win the Champions League. You're going to get enough opportunity. So, you never know, he might win it next time. I mean, they were unlucky yesterday. It was a fantastic game. I mean, it could have went either way, you know. That's football. That's why in cup competitions, you need luck, don't you, Tybal? You need luck. In cup competitions, you need luck. Man United have had luck in the Europa League. I mean, we know that. They've had luck in the Europa League. We played against 10 men a couple of times. You know, things have gone our way. VAR and stuff. And that's what you need in cup competitions. And I felt like Barcelona were unlucky, but Inter Milan, they did the business, and good luck to them. I hope they win it. Jarle, my friend, I think Spurs will get shocked in Norway. Also playing plastic field. Lazio got lucky there, lost a lot. Come on, Jarle, I want this to happen. Jarle, my friend, I want this to happen. Come on, Bodo Glimt. Come on, we want that. We want them in the final, Jarle. I think Man United will win it. I mean, I'm not counting my chickens just yet. But yeah, I think Inter will win the final. Yes, I think so as well. I mean, I hope it's not Arsenal, Ephraim. I hope it's not Arsenal, my friend. I hope not. I really don't want Arsenal in that final. Definitely not. We were linked with Dumfries 3 years ago as well. We were linked with him this week, funny enough, you know what I mean, which is crazy. Did you see Dumfries on my days? We should buy him. I mean, Dumfries is a great player. We know that. But, he you know, this is exactly what I'm saying, Triple M, about players who fit the system. Players who do well with that system. You know, and this is why Man United wanted Dumfries, and they still want Dumfries. Man United were linked with Dumfries this week. You know, this is why they still want Dumfries, of course, because it fits the system. Almac, would you leave the decision to Bruno? Many clubs actively pressure players to accept offers if it benefits the club. I can see Ratcliffe pulling Bruno aside and telling him to accept the offer. I don't know, mate. It is ultimately up to Bruno, isn't it, Almac? You know, and it is ultimately up to him, and we have to wait and see what happens. At the moment, guys, what we have to remember is that it is just rumors, and we have to remember that. You know, there is legs on the rumors. The rumors are pretty fierce, but we'll have to wait until the summer. Bruno, as a guy who knows the family, right, loves England. He has his family in England, but whose head wouldn't turn for 500,000 a week? I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Dumfries is an underrated player, can bully defenders. I agree, Ephraim. I agree. Good player. Triple M, I won't take him now. 29, 100%. I mean, it depends how much we can get for him. But yeah, young. We're trying to build a younger team, but he's good experience. I do not like teams without wingers. No wingers are not United. Inter are a strong team with strong mentality. I have said they will win it. Story, big up. Would you take Dumfries now, Sal? He'd fit the system perfectly. I would, but not for the price that they're asking for. I think they're asking for 45 million, 50 million, if not more. I wouldn't, not at that age. I would look at Dumfries as a player that for 20, 25 million, but we're not going to get him for that price. They're not going to sell him for cheap. And Man United were linked with Dumfries this week, of course. So you might hear more about Dumfries in the summer, but obviously, as someone said earlier, the age is a big issue. I think Zaghi is a better in-game management than Hansi Flick. Both of them are good coaches, and I like to see Inter win the finals. I like to see it as well, Charles. I would like to see Inter win it. PSG, I don't want PSG to win it. I think the hype around PSG is astronomical, slightly over-sensationalized. But yeah, I would much prefer Inter Milan to win the final. Absolutely. Even though the fans are a little bit dodgy with Man United fans. By the way, Inter Milan, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you've been to the San Siro, if you know about Inter Milan, if you know about Man United and Italian teams and stuff, you know that Inter Milan don't really like us for some reason. Bruno ain't no pushover. He is a strong mentality. Absolutely, Triple M. I agree with that. If I have 300k a week wages and increase 1.25 million a week, I would ask, where do I sign? But that would be me. Bruno do have... It depends how much you love the club. Charlie. Bruno's a multi-millionaire. So, you know, it depends. I mean, I remember the days of Paul Scholes and Gary Neville and on them lot, that money didn't really entice them. I mean, I remember the Lazio coming along and giving Man United a blank check for Paul Scholes. And they said, they will give you this such and such money, which would have changed his life. What we have to look at is the age of Bruno. And, you know what I mean? And that's it. And he might think to himself, you know, is this my last opportunity to get that amount of money? You know, but we, you know, at the end of the day, I know Bruno, the family, as I said, guys, I don't like banging on about that, but I know the mentality. His brother works in the hospital that I worked in for 2 years, worked together for 2 years. And, I know about the family and I know about the mentality. And I have to wait and see what happens. One thing is for certain is that Bruno does love Man United. But if Man United win the Europa League, it might encourage him to stay a little bit longer, one more season, and I heard that Bruno has a release clause after the 3rd season. So I think after next season, he has a release clause. So Al Hilal might wait until then. You never know. Why some people think Bruno is not a team player? Because of the hero ball. They call it the hero ball, don't they? They say that he likes to kick the ball long and pass ridiculous passes. But that is not being selfish, in my opinion. That's trying to do what's best for the team. But he just needs to calm down sometimes. That's why. And he shoots a lot. There was a very good example from Casemiro against Lyon, right? Where Bruno would have shot, but Casemiro crossed it straight onto Maguire's head. These are the decision makings that we need to fix, and that's not down to Bruno. Bruno wants to win. This is why, he wants to win. He wants Man United to win trophies, and I understand that. But then I also look at Bruno, and I look at the FA Cup final, for example. That pass to Kobbie Mainoo. Who makes that pass to Kobbie Mainoo, guys? But Bruno. Who makes that pass to Kobbie Mainoo? It's Bruno. Have you been to a Saudi game? Yes, I have. I have. How popular are the games? Bruno might enjoy it. Saudi's a beautiful country. The Middle East is a beautiful place to live. It's safe. It's hot. The weather's lovely. There's beaches. There's lovely lifestyle, and you can do anything. Saudi is a stricter country. You have to follow the law, but it's a great place to live, and so is the UAE, and so is Oman, and so is Qatar, and these places. They're great places to live. Subject to popular belief from the Zionists, they are great places to live. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and yeah, I would say that he would enjoy it. What's your favorite team in Italy? Napoli, Triple M. My wife is from Naples. I support Napoli in Italy. Yeah, Napoli, who are in line to be the champions. You know what I mean? So Jim Ratcliffe telling Bruno to sign a paper but not showing it is big up, Shaw. Imagine that happened. Jim Ratcliffe comes on. Oh yeah. No, could you just sign here, please? Oh no. It's just for electricity. Yeah, we need to count how much electricity you're using. So could you just sign there on a dotted line there? Could you just sign that for me? Thank you very much. And he ends up in, where am I going? No, we're not going anywhere. We're going for a pre-season tour. Just go, Bruno. I'll catch you up, Bruno. We're just going on a pre-season tour. Welcome aboard the flight to Riyadh. You know what I mean? It will force him out. I mean, that would be funny. Don't be surprised if something like that happens, of course, guys. Absolutely. That would be absolutely hilarious, of course. But yeah. Let's see what happens in the summer. Guys, look, I like bringing an argument to the table. I like bringing scenarios because you know what? Not everything in life is black and white. You can't just say that this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this will happen, they are going to do this, they are going to do that. Especially because, the past experience of Manchester United have not really filled us with confidence that, we're going to do certain things. Which country in the Middle East is the most rich country? Saudi, I think, Ephraim. But I think they're all pretty close. Napoli looks like they are on their way to the Scudetto, all the way to Mick Terminator. He suits the league to a T. And this is what I would say. Good luck and best of luck to Scott McTominay. Fantastic for Scott. In a great city like Naples, great place to be. Salerno, Capri, all these places that surround Naples, beautiful. But the league suits him. And, it's not about quality. It's about the style of play. The way they play, it's a lot slower. And it works out well for him. And I wish him the best of luck, At the end of the day, I hope he wins the Scudetto. At the end, he gave his all for Man United at the end of the day. If we sell Bruno and Onana to Saudi, we could thank them by scheduling a preseason tour of the Middle East and get some money for it, Almac. You know what? I don't like, Almac, and I'll be honest with you. I don't like the fact that we keep going to America every single summer. I hate the fact that we keep going to America. It's boring. No, number one, the games kick off at 4 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And number two, I don't like the fact that we keep going there because it should be spread out to the world. We are going to Malaysia, by the way, after the season ends. We're going to Malaysia, of course. Pray for PSG tonight. Ciao. I don't want to tempt fate, Chow. I don't want to tempt fate because I don't want Arsenal to go through. I mean, I don't want Arsenal to go through. I want PSG to go through. I don't want any happy faces on Arsenal. I want slumber faces on Arsenal heads. That's what I want. Shah, Saudi can take Casemiro and Onana, not Bruno. There you go. Big up, Sniper Man. How you doing, my bro? Hope you're good. Good to see you. San Siro Stadium is beautiful. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's old. It's a bit grey. The surrounding area is a bit woolly, but yeah, it is. It is a nice stadium, an old-fashioned stadium. Of course, there was a big controversy about them knocking down the San Siro, of course, guys. There was a huge controversy about that. They wanted to keep it. Saudi bidding 100 million with Bruno, but how about 50 million combined with both Casemiro and Onana? There you go. It's whether they want Casemiro and Onana, though, isn't it? Come on, PSG. Let's go. Big up Triple M. I agree. I want PSG or Inter to win. I mean, I don't care who wins as long as it's not Arsenal. That's it. I'll be honest with you. Casemiro 20 million and Onana 30 million. I would take it. I would take your arm off. So why do Inter Milan and Inter have the same stadium? It's due to the fact that it's through history. They've always had the same stadium. And they've always played. It's just the way it is. It's just what it is at the end of the day. They share stadiums. Teams used to share stadiums a lot back in the day. And because of the size of the stadium and the capacity of the stadium, they both used it for the same purpose, and at the end of the day. Now, there is obviously a big debate going on. This is like why I like AC Milan and Inter Milan fans, because they are fighting. Inter Milan and AC Milan right now are fighting moving away from San Siro. They're fighting right now that they don't want to move away from the stadium. And this is what I like about them. This is exactly what I'm saying. This is what I like about Inter Milan. I like this about AC Milan. The fact they are willing and they have the cojones to fight. Don't just accept it like we do. And we get excited by a circus tent that is going to be built. LA Blue, LA Blue, absolutely. We are definitely LA Blue, definitely, guys, absolutely. You know what? Big up expressions, big up. Yeah, no, that is all of us. That is all of us today. That is all of us today. Absolutely, that is all of us today. And Arsenal can. Fuck off. Absolutely. That is it. Get out of the Champions League. Fuck off. We gotta do it. Absolutely. Sorry, guys. Sorry, we got to do the business. We got to do the business. We got to hope that they get knocked out today. We don't want Arsenal in the Champions League final. God forbid. No way. Absolutely not. There was a post last night that almost got lost with Bruno talk last night that Onana has told his agent to find him a club in Saudi. Keeper is number one. As I said, that this rumor, Charlie, has legs, and he could quite possibly leave the football club this summer. He could quite possibly. Now, in regards to Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, rumor is that he will be, if signed for Manchester United, Manchester United's number one goalkeeper. What do you make of that? Does that mean that Onana is going to be sold? Does that mean that Bayindir is going to stay? Or does that mean Man United are going to sign 2 goalkeepers? Because I cannot for the life of me see Onana sitting on the bench. I don't know about you, but you know what? He's at that age right now where he can't sit on the bench and stuff like that. So is Milinkovic-Savic. What I like about the Milinkovic-Savic is his height, 6'8", you know what? Good on his feet and stuff like that. And I want to bring in this, guys. I want to bring in this real quickly. I want to bring in this little stat here, okay? So this is a stat I came across yesterday, right? And this stat here, basically, if you look at the stat closely, right? The pink is Onana. The red pink is Onana. The blue is basically Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. So you look at this, right? You look at long passes, throw passes. You look at sweeper action distance. You look at all sweeper actions. Every single thing apart from mistakes in possession, right? Look at this closely. So you're going to look at the pink here. So if you look at mistakes in possession, you look at this and you see pink, right? Red and pink. The only thing that Onana has more of is mistakes. Milinkovic-Savic has 10 clean sheets this season in 35 games for a team like Torino. Now, we have to understand that this is a team like Torino, the second team in Turin, right? So we have to understand that. So when you look at this, everything about Milinkovic-Savic, you would say, arguably, is better. I know that he's going to make more saves at Torino because obviously they're not as big as Man United, but Man United do concede a lot, So I would look at that and say, Milinkovic-Savic, apart from goals conceded and mistakes in possession. The goals conceded is very similar, but the mistakes in possession. And you got to remember that, the mistakes in possession, right? And you got to remember that he's playing for Torino and Onana is playing for Manchester United. There you go. It's very interesting. Have a look at that, guys. Have a look at that and let me know what you think in regards to that. Sure. If I'm correct, Lazio and Roma have the same stadium as well. Yeah, the Stadio Olimpico. Been there a few times as well, guys. I've got loads of photos on my Twitter. Go and have a look. I mean, I've been there loads of times. Stadio Olimpico, though, was built for the Olympics. A lot of these stadiums were extended for the Olympics. And also the 1990 World Cup. When the 1990 World Cup came, the San Siro and the Stadio Olimpico and obviously the Stadio delle Alpi were designed for the World Cup and the Olympics. And they used to have running tracks around them and stuff like that. I have a soft spot for the Delle Alpi, of course, because obviously Man United got through the semi-final Champions League 98-99, played there a number of times, but that is where Italian. But I've been to almost every Italian ground. I work a lot in Italian football, especially with Napoli. I'm there again in July, and yeah, I'll be broadcasting live from over there. And so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, obviously the Diego Maradona Stadium where Napoli play right now is also a thing. It's also a big stadium, but also very old-fashioned. They're very old-fashioned. If anyone went to the Bernabeu before the Bernabeu was regenerated, you will see very industrial sort of ground. So graffiti everywhere, made of stone and stuff like that. But it's all changing now. Decent. Any team to win the Europa Champions League? Not OPC. What, Arsenal? You want Arsenal to win it? Depends on the money for me. We know it depends on, Joe. It depends on for me, mate. It depends on if that money's reinvested in the team. One thing's the money. The next thing is the money invested in the team. And I really hope it is. I mean, otherwise, if it is, definitely I'm going to be saying, take the money. Take the money. Do you know what I'll be saying to Bruno if I got 150 million?
Fuck off.
Yeah. I won't. I like Bruno. Bruno's a legend. Not a legend, but he's a great. Listen, guys, it's a joke, yeah? It's a joke. I know I don't want Man United fans jumping on my head all of a sudden again. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up. Big up, Joe. Big up, Joe Blackman, by the way. Legend. Big up yourself. Inter game was fire last night. I told you, Sal, they might get it. I always believed in Inter Milan because I believe in history, Beef. And I'm one of the few people who said that Inter Milan will win. I don't know where people are coming from with this. So I was one of the few people who said Inter Milan will win because Inter Milan and Italian teams have good records against Spanish teams. I don't know why that is, but it just through history. Heritage. Heritage. Why does he look like Ephra? Who's that? That's expressions, Sniper Man. Sniper Man. You mean the PSG? So Jim Ratcliffe, chat GTP, make a stadium with a few pictures and some fans. Absolutely, Shah. There you go. Thank you so much, mate. There you go. Big up, Shah. Isan with PSG. There you go. Vincent, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I think AC Milan are building a new stadium now. AC Milan and Inter Milan are protesting about the rebuild of the stadium. They're still going on. They're fighting their cause. They're fighting their corner, unlike us. You know what I mean? That is what AC Milan and Inter Milan do. They fight. Empty stadiums. That's what they do. They know they love their club. They show it. They don't get excited by, oh, my season ticket. Oh, my God, no, I don't want my season. That's all people care about in our fan base is the bloody season tickets. Their selfishness. That's all they care about. They don't care about, you know what I mean, making things better in the long run. All they care about is family atmosphere. My season ticket passed down from generations. That's all they care about. Oh, Fred the Red. We got Fred the Red. Fred the Red. Man United need to be more intimidating. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know what I mean? This is why Old Trafford has gone down to the pits. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Morning, mate. Big up Joel Blackman. Big up everyone. So remember when I told you about Milinkovic-Savic's brother who's 6'8", should be a major... Yeah, I told you, Sniper Man. I did say in the summer, mate, about Milinkovic-Savic. Scroll back, Sniper Man. Sal, I'm concerned that Milinkovic-Savic does palm back into danger, just like Onana, based on competition I watch. Don't take too much into that, mate. We'll have to wait and see. Savic does not dive in slow motion. His reactions are crazy to see such a big guy. Absolutely, Jale. Spot on. If Onana is still here next season, we will lose. Look, one thing I would say, and I said it yesterday, guys. What's the most important thing about Man United right now? What if you could choose one position that you could change? You know what I mean? Right now, what is the most important aspect of Man United you would change? You would improve right now? Striker, isn't it? Goals. I think we need to work this way. You know, the mistake we made under Erik ten Hag is that we work that way. We need to work from a striker backwards. The spine. So striker, attacking midfielder, defender, goalkeeper. A bit like that. Right wing back we need as well. So it's whether they'll do it or not. I mean, I'll have to wait and see. It's whether they do it or not. Also, he's from Carrington youth system, yeah. And he didn't get he left Man United because he didn't get his work permit sorted out at the time. Sal, when we are losing from a one goal and we have to take a corner, who do you prefer? Put Savic for a corner? I would prefer Savic, mate. I would give you an example, guys. And I said it yesterday in regards to Onana. I would bring in 2017 Europa League final, Man United against Ajax. Look at his positioning. Look at how flat-footed he is for both goals. That's what I would say. And you can't rely on him. Smash the likes, people. Thank you so much, Shah. Big up everyone, guys. Big up everyone. Big up Joe Blackman, legend in the house. Big up my friend. Man United Bodo final coming. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Triple M, fingers crossed. Come on, Bodo Gimpt. Come on. A glimpse into the future. You never know. You know what I mean? I mean, hopefully. Money talks. Dirty cash. 1, 2, dirty cash. That is what Jim Ratcliffe will be doing. Absolutely. It's all about the Skrilla. All about the Skrilla. Yeah. Oh man, you know what? I don't know, mate. Money talks for them as long as they reinvest it. You know what I mean? As long as they reinvest it in the house, absolutely, guys. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Absolute legends. Thank you so much. Much respect to all of you for joining me this morning. I will be back for the match preview between Man United and Athletic Bilbao in a crucial game, guys. It's so crucial. We got to win it. If we get knocked out, can you imagine the banter if Man United get knocked out? Guys, imagine the banter if Man United get knocked out. It would be a disgrace. It would be a disgrace. And let me tell you something, guys.
Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger.
Fuck off.
So we don't want none of that, guys. We don't want none of that. We don't want no shocks tomorrow. We want an easy, nice, lovey-dovey win that would take us into the final of the Europa League. And then we can, you know what I mean? We look forward to the final. It'd be brilliant. We'll have a little bit of vibes, you know what I mean? We'll have, the season will still be great. The presser, it depends what time it is, Charlie. Obviously, I'm in the UAE, so I'm free. Last week, the presser was at 9 o'clock. So hopefully it's around 5 o'clock today, because last week it was at 9 o'clock and I'm in UAE 3 hours ahead of England. But if it is there, Charlie, I will show it live. I will show it live, I promise. We won't get knocked out. Don't say that, Kenny. Kenny. Who killed Kenny? Big up, Kenny. Don't provoke me. Yeah, don't provoke me. Bring on Thursday. And you know what? Don't provoke me, because you know what happens, right? It's 11 o'clock at night. Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger. You know what I mean? I'm not in a good mood at night time. The amount of arguments that happen on these night shifts, right? On these streams, right, is unbelievable. Bring on Thursday. Come on, Char. Absolutely. Bring on Thursday. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. You absolute diamonds. I will see you later on for the match preview. Guys, don't forget to join me for that. Don't forget to put your notifications on as well. And don't forget to smash a like on there. We don't always agree, but one thing it is, it's all love, guys. We all want the same thing. We're all on the same boat. We all want Man United to succeed, don't we? And be back. And we will be one day. But hook or by crook. Take it easy, guys. I'm Sam Warner. It's Breaking Dawn. Peace.